Hi guys, this is Dan from Magic Pachinko Restoration with another short video on a vintage Pachinko machine. As you can see, the weather's changed. It's starting to get a little bit cooler than it was during the summer. Got a little different outfit on now out in the shop. So please continue to subscribe to the channel. It's great to see it growing. Comments are coming in. I love it. Questions are coming in. I love those too. And MagicPachinkoRestorations.com is the place to go. I need to do some work on it. It's been a while since I've been there, but I will get that up and running really well. I mean, not to say that it's not up and running now, but I want to modify it a little bit so it makes it better. Before we get into this newest Pachinko, I want to talk briefly on the importance of Pachinko balls. I've said this before. I'll say it again and again and again. Pachinko machines are designed to be run with Pachinko balls, which are 11 millimeter in diameter. They are not designed to run on steel ball bearings of any size, although I know some people have said they've had pretty good luck with buying steel ball bearings that are close to the 11 millimeter. The 11 millimeter or the steel ball bearings that are close to 11 millimeter will probably run through the machine internally. But my guess is that when you start to gap the nails in the parlors, the gap is probably 11.02 millimeters, and I gap mine at 11.1 millimeters to get them a little open more so that you win more often. But if you're running a steel ball bearing that's a little bit bigger than an 11 millimeter Pachinko ball, it may go through the machine internally, but it may never make it through the nails, and you're just taking away the chances of you being able to drop it into a pay pocket or a tulip. So I also spent about an hour with a gentleman that had a Model A machine, and he called up and said, "My machine doesn't work." I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, I dropped a couple of steel ball bearings in it and nothing happened." Well, immediately that puts up a red flag. You simply can't test a Pachinko machine with a couple of steel ball bearings or even a couple of Pachinko balls. You just can't do it. A Pachinko machine has to be loaded with the proper amount of Pachinko balls, and usually that's a minimum of 250. So that everything is in check, everything is going to work properly. So he bought 500 Pachinko balls, called me back a couple of weeks later, and we loaded the machine up only to find that there were a number of steel ball bearings that were too large for the machine that got stuck, and he had not taken the machine apart, so he was really struggling to get the Pachinko or the ball bearings out that were too big. We got them all out, all the way down to the, so that they loaded down into the jackpot on the Model A. We started to play, a couple of balls ran down to the seesaw, and they would not tip out of the seesaw, only to find out there was another one stuck between the seesaw and where it drops down onto the jackpot arm. And that was in a really rough position to get out without physically taking the machine apart. I haven't spoken to him since. Hope that he got that ball out and the machine works well. But please keep that in mind, that you really need 11 millimeter Pachinko balls in your machine. Okay? So this is a Heiwa, and unfortunately the stickers and things that were on it just didn't have any numbers on it. So I really don't know what year this machine is, but it's got to be in the mid 70s, as most of the machines are that I work on. So this particular background it's not a custom background, but it was a background that the customer picked out. It's not the original. He went online and found this one. Really very pretty background on this. And in a former life, this machine, I believe, had been mounted in a wall, not in a cabinet, I don't think, but right into the wall. And when a former owner wanted to take the machine out of the wall, they came in along this edge and that edge and this, well, all four edges, with a sawzall and cut down this way to get the machine out. Well, what that did is it just chewed up the sideboards here. These were the original sideboards, and you can see the chew marks that the Sawzall left. really made a mess. So the customer asked if I had the wherewithal to take care of that. And I'm not a bad woodworker, but to do this and get this done right, fortunately I have a friend who has a beautiful woodworking shop, and I went down, and this is now Douglas fir. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and we rebuilt these 3 boards. This piece was original, and the top wasn't chewed up all that much, so we used the original top, but it came out really nice. So everything's clean, everything's good. So when you get ready to use this machine, this one has a little different ball dump feature on it. This is the ball dump here. When that goes up, then this slides over and would allow the balls to dump out of the machine. So there's a piece right here. Actually, I'm going to mark that in red, and you push this over to the left and it will lock in place, and then it allows the balls to travel all the way to the jackpot chamber. Okay, so again, let's get it plugged in. So you see the lights, 12-volt power supply on the lights. There's the ball out light controlled by these there's 2 micro switches here. In the parlor, the second micro switch would have alerted the parlor that it was low on balls. This has been cut out. I have no idea why. Former owner. So we put a handful in just to make sure that it runs down through into the jackpot like it's supposed to. And then once you get enough balls backed up, the weight shift turns off the light. It also opens the gate down here that allows you to feed balls in. So again, the amount of balls that you have in a pachinko machine really does matter. And the other thing you want to check is the seesaw chamber. So this is a seesaw here. You want to make sure it's tipped this way rather than this way. This didn't have a cover. It also doesn't have the plunger underneath. Just wasn't with the machine, but the good thing, bad thing, no cover, but if you ever had to adjust the seesaw, you can just put your finger in there and adjust it. So you will need a catch basin similar to this. The losing balls drop here, the winning balls drop here, okay? So that's the setup of that machine. We'll get it turned around. I'll show you the machine in action. This has kind of an interesting center attraction. I'll show you that. This tips back and forth, and this rolls back and forth, depending on where the balls go in. So we'll put a ball in there. We'll get a ball to drop in there, and it moves that over. And it will open tulips as it goes down through. Okay, so we'll launch some balls here. So that's the Heiwa. We've run out of balls in the upper hopper. This light comes on. You're going to transfer balls from here to here, and then into the hopper in the back. And you're ready to go again. Hope you like it.